Hi, this is Jacob Anderson, and this video is about troubleshooting your electric cord on a Shopsmith Mark V. If you're having problems, your machine's not running, if it won't start, there's a number of things you can check to make sure that you're getting electricity to it. If you're hearing humming coming from the motor, or if the motor's trying to start, that shows that your cord is okay. Electricity is getting through and energizing the motor, so it shows your cord is okay, shows your switch is okay. But if you're not hearing anything, then it could be your outlet, it could be the cord itself, it could be the switch. So I've got a separate video about checking the switch itself. This one's about the cord. So you can check your prongs first. They can get a lot of corrosion on them, and just a tiny bit of corrosion can keep the electricity from flowing. So this one here, you actually see I've already brightened it up. I just used a tiny little file just to knock off any corrosion. So if I receive repairs that the switches look a little gunky, or the plugs look a little gunky, I'll do this, just a light file to do that. So you want bright metal to make sure the contact is good. I always use a grounded electric cord for safety, because workshops are damp places. You might be standing on concrete, you might even be standing on earth, so you always want your machine grounded, not just with this pin, but make sure your system in the garage is grounded. Make sure the ground wire is attached to your motor, so please be safe. If your cord had this broken off, you can replace the plug. I do that quite frequently for customers. If it doesn't even have the third wire, replace the whole cord so that you're safe. Don't get hurt. So anyway, here's how to check your wire. Of course, make sure everything's unplugged, but you check one prong, check that over to the black wire here, and see we're getting continuity, so there's no break in the wire. Check the other side to the white wire. It's good. Check the ground wire. It's good. And I also like to check cross between them, make sure there's no pinching of wires. You know, if there was a big pinching inside the wire, they might be shorting against each other. So check it those ways also. And visually inspect your electric cord. Make sure there's no fraying. Old greenies usually have to get their cords replaced, both because they're not grounded and the outer sheath is crumbling and falling apart. But you can inspect it for nicks, if it got pinched on something, or you stepped on it, or you dropped a hammer on it. There's lots of ways these electric cords get damaged. So you can find new electric cords quite easily at home repair centers. You may have to install your own terminals. It's always a good idea also to use one of these anti-strain relief devices, so that if the cord gets yanked, it's not disconnecting from the switch or from your motor. So try to create a strain relief if you don't have one already. So that's how easy it is to test your electric cord. That's some things to look for. With a multimeter like this, you can also test your outlet. You can turn it over to the AC volts, put it on the 250 setting, and you can reach in your jack and make sure you have electricity coming to that socket. But really, it's easier to make sure a socket's live just by plugging something simpler into it, like a light or your dust vacuum. Make sure it runs, because believe it or not, some outlets stop working or aren't working, and that might explain your problem for not having your machine running fine. Alright, here's the address for my website. There's tons of information available to you there. You have access to my free YouTube videos like this one. I currently have about 20 of them. You have access to lots of information, photos, my daily repair blog, how to ship your headstock to me, component repairs. You have access to my web store for the parts that I sell. So please go to my website and take a look. You'll find lots of good information there. Thank you.